Hello again. We never actually got around to setting up our drop functionality, and I kind of like I'm not gonna make a crash joke. I kind of get sidetracked and then jump around on a bunch of stuff. So let's go ahead and set up our drop functionality. So I'm gonna highlight my drop button inside my menu. Scrolling down, I'm gonna add an on-clicked event. Just gonna copy my player reference down and paste it. And I want to get item selected. So when we click the drop button, we need a container basically to store all this stuff in. So two ways you can do this. You can either break open the item selected and spawn this actual... Let's do it that way first. Alright, so I'm going to spawn actor from class. And then I'm going to feed in this item class directly into it. And then over here I'm going to... set item info to match so that this new version will match however many we're dropping. So we'll do that just like that. And then we will, from our player reference, call our remove item function. And then the item info will be this item info, and then the amount will be the current stack, just like this. So we need to spawn transform, so let's go inside the player blueprint, look over here. Not there. Let's see, interact, fire, cast from. Maybe the cast from, that's sitting right in front of the player. Right here looks good. I'm just gonna use that for now. So from the player reference, I'm gonna get the cast from scene component, get world transform of it, and then hook that right there. So, oh, and then at the very end we will, is it update menu? What are we doing for our inventory? How are we rebuilding this bad boy? Build inventory. Alright. So then we'll just call our build string. That's not what I want. Build inventory. Target is menu because that's the target I got. Alright. So now if I jump out here, pick up a potion, run over here. Let's say I don't want that potion anymore. Drop. It's floating. Okay. So in the menu, when we spawn the actor, we want to set physics enabled. Set enabled gravity? No. Set simulate physics, and that'll be the item. So you can set this wherever you like. I'm gonna just set it at the end because it doesn't really matter. So pick that up, run over. Select, drop. There we go. I just wanted to kick it around. I didn't mean to kick it into oblivion. There it goes. Oh, it must have shot off. Okay. So, from the item we can set mass, maybe? Set the mass scale, set all mass scale, set mass override in kilograms. Well, anyway, this is one way you can do it, is just spawn the actor itself. That gets a little messy with things like bushes, because if I come over here and I drop this bush, I'm dropping the whole... I dropped the whole thing through the world. But you got to make sure every single item actually has the physics set up just right. So what I've found is an easier way is to just create a blueprint class of an actor, and this will just be called item bag. And then sort of similar as games like Ark, to where you just no matter what you pick up, you drop that little box. This will be basically that. So I'm going to add a static mesh that will be the bag. And then, what is that called? Treasure bag. Wait. Yeah, treasure bags. That is part of the Infinity Blade Meshes props. So that's the prop pack from Infinity Blade. So we'll add a variable that will be the item info. Item info struct. And then just a couple things we want to do to this to make sure that we can pick it right back up. Let me see how I set this up. So you want it to just basically block all, or however it was. You know what? Block all dynamic. That's fine. That'll be fine. And then we will need to add our interact blueprint interface. And in the event graph, we can event interact, get player character, call our pickup message, feed in our item info that we're picking up, and then destroy this bad boy, just like that. So I think we need to add a tag of interact. So let's search for a tag by highlighting the item bag self tag actor tags. So actor. And I don't remember if this is what we need to do in this game or in my game, but I'm just going to go ahead and add this interact tag because I'm pretty sure that's required. In fact, I'm just going to drop one in the world real quick. You're doing nothing. Bear with me for a second. Pick up item. Oh. Where's my interact function? Oh, interaction. For duration. The first thing I like to do is if something doesn't, like if I'm not interacting with something, first I like to make sure that my collision is set up. So it's just not hitting it. Potentially. I'll just make it really big real quick. Yeah, alright, so it's interacting fine. It's just the way I have this interaction set up. What you can do is actually, we can take this interact fire, move it to about here, and then from our interaction function, we'll get its world location. And instead of getting the forward vector, we can just subtract, say, 150 on the z-axis. And then instead of it shooting out in front, it'll also be out in front, but it'll just kind of pick up whatever right in front. So it still works to pick up small things, big things. This at its normal size would be appropriate now. So small things, etc. So yeah, there's that. Alright, so now that we've got our little item baggie, let's go back into our menu, and instead of spawning this class, just disconnect that, and then we can just hard code in item bag. And then we will set item info just the same way. We just got to adjust that to the item selected, just like that. Set simulate physics on the bag. Don't need you anymore. And then set that to true. I am going to make this bag just a little bit bigger though, because it's a tiny little bag. So I'm going to say 1.5. Oh, I had that little lock. Alright. So So now let's try it out. So health potions, and then I drop. And then there's the bag of items. And I pick it up, it's 2 health potions. So the cool thing about doing it this way is if I pick up these bushes, and then I'm like, I don't need these anymore, get out of here. It's just a bag of things that'll get you pulled over at customs. And then we pick it back up, and then there it is. So drop it, it's gone. Pick it back up, and there it is. Alright, so before we finish, I'm going to go back in here and turn that back off. So now we can drop everything we don't need. Oh, they collided in midair. So I don't know which one's which, but it doesn't matter really. You'll know. You just drop what you don't want and then just be like, on your merry way. What you can also do is if you want it to have a timeout, so let's just set up a begin play. Then we'll set a small delay of say 5 seconds. And then destroy the actor so that we don't have a bunch of discarded materials in the world. You can set it to however long of a delay. Oh, I didn't have an item selected and it still dropped. So that's probably something we should fix too. Okay, but anyway, so now they will destroy. Alright, but let's fix that last thing real quick. So what we want to do is just back this up. Back the player reference. Back this up. Back you up. And then first, when we click this button, we don't want to just automatically spawn. We want to see if the item we have selected is actually something. So let's see if it is a valid class first. Branch. And then if it is a valid class, then we'll set this to true. So over here, at the very end, we want to set item selected. And we just want to set it to nothing, so we'll leave this connected to nothing. So now if I jump in the world, spawns nothing. Spawns one thing. It's that thing. There we go. Yeah, so now we can drop our items that we don't want anymore. So there's 2 ways you can do it. You can either spawn the actual mesh that belongs to it. I think personally that this one is better. It jumped forward because it blocks my camera. Oh, alright. You can set that delay to however long you want, but there you go. Alright, and we'll see y'all soon. Bye.